All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekakodash. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone. A salute to you brothers out there preaching this word, sincerity and truth. All right, coming to you another video. Basically getting on some history of the paper fiat money system that the whole world is under. All right, currency. I did some research about the invention of paper money. All right, and I have some scriptures to prove that this current world, um, head up by Esau Edom, so-called white man. I mean, he's not doing anything new. All right. So once I get into this article, I'm bring out scriptures. All right. This is from thoughtcode.com. And the title reads, The Invention of Paper Money, History of Chinese Currency. All right. Paper money is an invention of the Song dynasty in China in the 11th century CE. Okay. So I believe that's the thousand AD. Nearly 20 centuries after the earliest known use of metal coins. All right. And real money is gold, silver. All right. That's the real riches. Okay. To use to buy, to barter with, buy things with. All right. This is Genesis 13:1. And Abram, which is Abraham, went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south. Verse 2, and Abram was very rich in cattle and silver and in gold. Okay, so silver and gold, that's real money. That's to show you rich. All right. And also he was rich in cattle, so he had to have acres and acres of land. All right, that also displays riches. All right, having a lot of land. All right, but going back to this, nearly 20 centuries after the earliest known use of metal coins, all right, which is gold and silver, while paper money was certainly easier to carry in large amounts, using paper money has risks of counterfeiting and inflation. Okay, so the American dollar bill is going towards hyperinflation. All right. I'm gonna read a little bit more. The earliest known of money is also from China. Because Esau, all he does is basically takes other nations' philosophies and he just regurgitates it. All right, that's what Esau does. All right, Esau like a chameleon. He mimics you. All right, that's what he did with the paper money. They got it from China. All right, the Moabites. The earliest known form of money is also from China. A cast copper coin from 11th century BCE which was found in the Shang dynasty tomb in China. All right. Copper is not a precious metal, but it is a metal. All right. Metal coins, whether be made from copper, silver, gold, or other metals, have used across the globe as units trade and value. They have advantages. They are durable, difficult to counterfeit. They hold intrinsic value. The big disadvantage, if you have very many of them, they will get heavy. That's the only so-called problem with having gold or silver. If you have an abundance of it, it's heavy. All right, that's the only argument they can come up with. If you have billions of dollars, that's heavy too. All right, but Esau, he's trying to make everything go cashless. All right, but it still doesn't have the the backing of gold and silver. All right. For a couple thousand years after coins were buried in the Shang tomb, however, merchants, traders, and customers in China had to put up with carrying coins or bartering goods for other goods directly. Copper coins were designed with square holes in the middle so they could be carried on a string. For a large transaction, traders calculated the price of number of coin strings. It was workable, but an unwieldy system at best. All right, so that's a little history on it. I mean, you can read more. It's a whole lot of more history, but got the points. So fast forwarding, you have right now you have a Federal Reserve note. And I did some a little bit of research. What's the difference between a Federal Reserve note and a U.S. Silver certificate? All right. And the only I mean, I came up across this right here, which this is a good the good answer that I've been looking for, and you can find this answer if you do more research. All right, but I'm gonna bring this up because the paper currency you use now is a Federal Reserve note. It's basically an IOU. It's not backed by gold and silver anymore. They took that, which it says in this answer right here. Silver certificates. I'll read it. What is different between Federal Reserve note and a U.S. note and a silver certificate? Silver certificates were bills backed by silver on a deposit with the Treasury. They could be issued only in quantities that didn't exceed the total value of their silver. Okay, because a dollar is basically that's a measuring tool for silver. Okay, how much silver you have. Okay, at one time, when the price of silver was fixed by the government, it was possible to exchange these bills for silver bullion as well as coins. See? So if you have a silver certificate, you can trade them in for silver, the metal. Okay. When the price of silver was deregulated in the mid 1960s, silver certificates were discontinued. All right, so that's what happened. All right, because the Federal Reserve, I believe, was created in 1913. All right, and the Federal Reserve is basically a private entity, just like the IRS, which the international bankers they own those entities. All right, and what they want to do, they want to get rid of paper money, so that's why they took the dollar off. The dollar being backed by gold and silver. All right. It was deregulated in mid 1960. Silver certificates were discontinued and the practice of exchanging for metal was ended. All right. So since the 60s, and I believe also in the 71, I forgot the name of the president at that time. Was it Hoover? The president at that time took the gold standard off from the backing of the paper fiat currency, the paper money. So that was, back in the 70s. All right. So since then, this paper money has no backing by gold and silver, which is real money, according to the Holy Scriptures, the Bible. But then it was taken over by the backing of the petro oil. All right. But I think it was April 21st of this year, 2020. It was at the April 21st, April 26th, something like that. But the dollar lost its petro backing. So now the dollar is just ready for hyperinflation. Okay. Most silver certificates are recognizable by their blue seals. U.S. notes were currency issued by the federal government by not backed by gold or silver on deposit. Most of these had red seals and serial numbers. They were issued from 1862 to 1966, were discontinued only as a money-saving move to consolidate all currency production administration under the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve notes green seals are the only kind of currency now printed in the U.S. They're produced by the Bureau of Engraving and Printing for each of the 12 districts administered by the Federal Reserve System. The nation's central bank, like the U.S. notes, they're not backed by any gold or silver, but instead rely on the stability of the government to validate their acceptance in the marketplace. All right, and that's where you get the word fiat, basically the belief. All right, believe. So when the people's belief is dwindled down to nothing, and they stop believing in the currency, the paper currency system, that's when this dollar is going to hyperinflate. And you see hints of high inflation in the grocery stores every week. All right. That's because the dollar is basically free falling. The value of the dollar is free falling. All right. It's not backed by oil anymore. All right. It's not backed by oil. It's not backed by gold or silver. So it's basically just left by itself until all the belief, the people's belief in that particular currency, which is, the American dollar, doesn't have the power anymore, man. All right. Habakkuk, we start at 2 and 5. But the point of that 6, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Who is that talking about? Esau, Edom, so-called white man. All right. Neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his border, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and as his death, and cannot be satisfied. All right, that's all. That's Esau's characteristics, man. Everywhere he goes, he brings death. All right. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So, in the case of the dollar, the American dollar is supposed to be the reserve currency. All right. And that's a way he was unto him all people. Okay? And there's a history behind the petrodollar as well, man. There's a big history behind that too. Because Esau, he had to go to the Middle East, and those people over in the Middle East, the Ishmaelites, they had to do business to have that, oil, that petrodollar to be powerful. All right. And you should know oil is basically the blood of the earth. And you're not supposed to be draining the earth of its blood, man, of its oil. The earth needs the oil, okay? That's basically fucking up the ecosystem, all right? Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth not that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, okay? And you look up that word clay, goes to the Hebrew word abatyat, all right? Which means weight of pledges, heavy debt, all right? So when Esau basically took, well, the bankers actually did it, when the bankers actually took, the paper dollar, took the gold and silver backing from the paper dollar, all right, that this creates this will create a heavy debt. All right, and also the petrodollar, the oil is now backing the American dollar now. So this American dollar is done, man, and America is getting itself in increased debt day by day, man. All right, which is all agenda from the bankers because they want everything to go cashless so they can push, because this market of beast system, paper money is not going to be paper money is not going to exist. All right, when this market of beast system rolls out, and it's actually steps to get to that market of beast. All right, and one of the steps is basically hyperinflating the dollar to its intrinsic value of zero, which is basically going to get the whole world on electronic, all right, paperless system. All right. So the market of beast, the RFID chip, works off a paperless system. All right, works electronically. All right, that's why they're pushing the 5G, 6G, because they need that bandwidth to basically have the RFID chip to operate on. All right, it needs that power. Okay, so Isaiah 13:17, behold, I will stir up the Medes, which are the Russians, against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Okay. In this case, the modern currency is the paper currency, the dollar. So the dollar is not a reserve currency anymore. The Russians, the Iranians, the Chinese, the South Africans, Brazilian, they came up with their own system, and they're backing their system with gold and silver. All right, it's called the BRICS. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to pay off these nations in worthless American dollars, man, because it's worthless. All right, and you're about to see how worthless it's gonna get, and the time's coming. All right, because this dollar's gonna hyperinflate because nothing's backing on it. All right, it's just creating debt, and that's how the bankers want it. All right, let me read that again. Isaiah 13:17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which is Babylon, America. Okay, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. All right, so that's it, man. So this paper money is not real money, man. But our simple ass people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, they think the American dollar is real money. So they're gonna ride and die for that paper dollar bill, man, until they basically get switched over to the paperless system. But in that transition, they having that trust in that paper money, they're gonna be screwed, man. All right, because men in the Lord know what real money is, gold or silver. All right, and that's wisdom. That's wisdom according to the Bible, man. All right. So that's pretty much all I got, Lord. Was edifying. Shalom.